Hey everybody, this is Bree and Sammy, and I'm DJ, and we're all part of the Garden Music team, and we want to take just a few minutes and talk about this new project, Raphah, we got coming out, and share some of our thoughts and how it's impacted us personally. I know like meditation is kind of one of those weird things where, it's, some people are like, is this, is it Christian to meditate, or do you have to pray, or like, what do we call it? What do we do? Like, is this right, wrong? I feel like for me, this process has shown me that meditation is just simply another word for carving out a portion of time in your day to focus on something, and whatever you choose to focus on is yours to choose. And for me, it's Jesus. But I'm curious, like, before I talk to you about this, and kind of as this process has gone, how has your relationship perspective, just kind of thoughts on what meditation and prayer and like what those look like and how they affect you and how they integrate into your life?
Yeah, I think meditation and prayer totally go hand in hand. This is totally, like you said, a moment to spend with God and in silence, be still and know that He is God. And for me, something that I've always struggled with in life in general is control. It's a huge source of my anxiety when I feel like I'm out of control. And when I notice I feel that way, or when I'm just carving out 20 minutes of a day to meditate and sit with God, it really helps me to remember I'm not in control of everything. And it's okay to let go and let God.
But yeah, I've realized that taking a moment to just like focus on breathing, and then realizing it's okay to just let it go, that the tangles aren't necessarily for me to sort out in my brain. And it's okay to let my mind wander for a second and then bring it back to just the simply being still and knowing that he's gonna have it all under control no matter what anyway.
We sat down and we were like, Sammy, you should sing Another in the Fire. And I think that song can hold some power. Any ways that you can kind of explain how approaching it from a, more spacious, meditative state, if those lyrics have, your perspective has shifted on them at all?
The message of Another in the Fire, that we're never alone, doesn't get old. All of us are just prone to have seasons where we are feeling lonely. And especially in the world right now, I think it is such a fitting song of like, you are not alone in what you're going through. And in a time where you are secluded and alone all the time, loneliness just has a tendency to hit. This song is saying that, well, we can look back and see that God was there.
You hear these pauses, you hear these moments where you can tell it's like, it really, as a listener, it really gives an invitation into your heart, into your mind, your soul, like where you were at in that moment. It's so cool that we get to invite people into these moments that are so personal, yet also able to be so communal together. With you, one of the first songs that immediately popped in my head was Peace, of course.
All anxiety bows in the presence of Jesus, the keeper of peace. And peace is a promise He keeps.
So the lyrics of that song have always been very moving for me. They talk about peace, and that peace is the promise that God keeps, especially when anxiety comes knocking at my door, which it seems to do quite a bit. And when I was learning that song for the first time, I was going through a pretty traumatic experience back in April of this year around Easter, and we had a loss in the family, and the family was really shaken by it. Everyone from me to my immediate family to my extended family. And sitting there and recording peace in a meditative way instead of singing it was really impactful, because I've always attached myself to those words and I found peace and comfort in them. But to really just sit there and speak them and be calm and be still and present in that moment is a little bit different, and to give it room to breathe and to really meditate on each word and each phrase. And when you have a trigger such as an event where you lose a loved one, those words are really, really personal.
This is an invitation into just the peace and stillness of Jesus. And if you can fit it in once in your week, God is so excited to meet with you once this week.
Right.
God's not saying you only met with me once this week. He is so it's just like any father, any friend. You don't, no healthy relationship with your father looks like your father getting mad that you only called once. You know what I'm saying? That's just not what a holistic, healthy father does. And so I gotta believe that's not how God is either. And so it's not a call to do more and to be more and to be perfect. It's simply an invitation to, set aside just the smallest offering.
I think just the fact that you sit down to do it is showing that you know that God's like, I want to take care of you.
Yeah.
Like, you are worth being taken care of, your mind, your soul, your heart, your body. And so the fact that you're making that decision to do that shows, I believe that like God says I'm worth this.
Sometimes, I know we live in a very productive society where we feel like we have to do everything all the time and have it all figured out and be our own savior and have our answers lined up. But I think sometimes the most productive thing you can do is just sit with him.
Yeah.
And just be still,
Totally.
And everything will fall into place because, again, he has his hand in everything and we don't have to have it all figured out. So just knowing that it's not a selfish thing to do, it's not a waste of time, it's honestly one of the most productive and healthy things you can do for yourself.